that story isn't a sign of the ever-changing landscape in college football. This next one is something that definitely is, and that is Texas Tech GM James Blanchard being targeted by Notre Dame here to come in and fill that position that Chad Bowden just left, heading to USC. Blanchard's been at Texas Tech since 2021. Joey McGuire, the head coach there, has really gotten things rolling in terms of recruiting. We understand they have a very strong NIL effort there with the Matador Club. But Notre Dame now, we understand the power of that brand, of that program, to potentially pair him with what they already have rolling up there in South Bend with Marcus Freeman. It could be a very, very scary sight if you're someone recruiting against Notre Dame.
It's so funny. We used to not even know who these GMs were. Right now you see Bowden getting $1 million from USC to leave Notre Dame. Blanchard, who was really one of the first GMs we kind of heard about, right? He was one of the first guys to start getting press where he said, all right, this is a guy. He ends up going from Texas Tech to Notre Dame to replace Bowden. I'm assuming he'll be getting paid more than Bowden was. I think Bowden was in the $300,000 range when he left to USC for about $1 million. Blanchard, I'm sure, is commanding a pretty hefty raise. And, you know, from Texas Tech's perspective, you have really outkicked what people expect of you in terms of recruiting with consecutive top 30 or 2 out of 3 top 30 classes the past 3 years. Number 3 portal class, just an outstanding group of players that we've talked about here on this show quite a bit. Blanchard being a big part of that. So you are very sad to see Blanchard go, but at the same time, when you recruit a new guy for this role, your program has been elevated, not only because of Blanchard, but as part of it. You know, if you're up and coming GM, Texas Tech's got to look like one of the best jobs in the market. You're going to have a lot of money to spend. You're able to make maybe more of an impact on the program at a school like Texas Tech in the Big 12 than in the SEC and the Big 10, where the margins are smaller and everybody knows who the 5-star and 4-star recruits are. I think the evaluation component, you can make more of an impact out of Texas Tech. So that's going to be an interesting opening going forward. From the Notre Dame perspective, you get a guy in Blanchard who's from really the Matt Rule school, starting with Baylor, going to Carolina with Rule. And if there's one thing you know about Matt Rule and the people under him when it comes to evaluation, is they treasure verified measurables. It's about track, size, verified size, weight lift, things that you can translate 4 years down the road to the NFL Combine. That is what Matt Rule loved when he was at Baylor. He brought that to Nebraska. He really treasures those verified measurables. Blanchard has clearly upgraded the athleticism of that Texas Tech program while he's been there. And now he goes to a Notre Dame team, which is already on top. They're in the finals, but always looking for an edge when it comes to evaluation, because even though they produce NFL players consistently, they can't just grab the top 5 stars like Ohio State or Georgia or the other teams in that tier can do. They produce a lot of NFL players, but the evaluation is a big part of what Notre Dame does. And I think Blanchard, having shown that he can do, I don't want to say more with less, because he had resources at Texas Tech, but having shown that he can really upgrade the talent level that the program is used to at a place like Texas Tech, going to Notre Dame, you got to feel pretty good about that addition.
Well, I mean, look, to put it in other words, how you just said it right there, my thing is, in a year's time, every school and every program is going to have money to spend, right? The playing field is going to be leveled. Of course, Texas Tech has tremendous resources right now. They've done an amazing job in the transfer portal, and that helps. But there's other programs that have great resources, right? So what's the separating factor? It's that personal relationship. It's the relationships that he's built throughout his time, not only working with Matt Rule, but started his own recruiting service years back, and that's how he got into this in the first place, into this sort of position. So again, like you said, imagine him now with the resources of the resources, but the brand of Notre Dame, and stepping into a situation again, like I said, it's already humming, right? It's not like he needs to go fix something there. So he doesn't need to come in and make something magic happen, but he can come in there and make his own twist to it And I think Notre Dame fans will be really, really excited. So this isn't officially official yet, but looks like it's going to happen.
And one thing that Blanchard was known for at Texas Tech, NFL style department. So let's see if Notre Dame embraces that and just says, listen, we're going to give you quite a bit of it's ultimately the head coach's call, but a lot of authority, a lot of freedom to operate like an NFL front office does, which is to say it's not just only top down from the head coach. The head coach maybe has more sign off than an NFL head coach does, but the autonomy to really evaluate guys, give them grades, and present them to the head coach and to the coaching staff, maybe in a more NFL type fashion than what we're used to seeing in college football, because that's one thing that Texas Tech was known for under Blanchard.